I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Source Material, episode 209, closing in on 210. But right now, we're doing something off the beaten path. We've been down this road before. This is DC Looney Tunes, ladies and gentlemen. The combination of two properties coming together for some interesting and fun comic books. Mark ain't feeling too well. Alexis is just getting over things. I'm over here hoping that they keep that stuff in their respective states. Okay? Don't bring it over here to Ohio.
I'm going to give you projectile leprosy from Tampa.
Don't need it, sir. Do not need it. So, yeah, we're doing DC Looney Tunes. This is our... this is the second iteration of this, I think. At one point, I know we've done 3 podcasts where we've crossed over cartoon properties.
There's been 2 DC Hanna-Barbera iterations.
There we go. That's what I'm.
And then there are 3. We're on the second one of DC Looney Tunes.
Got it. So the last time we had the opportunity to do something like this, we did a little bit of a contest where we had to pitch our stuff. We had a very biased judge, if you guys recall, sitting behind the bench. Just to let y'all know, he picked his own son.
Nepotism is real, ladies and gentlemen.
Satan is real. Nepotism is real. I believe it all. But this time we don't have a judge. We also have a fourth person that wasn't able to make it. Ronnie Adams is not able to bring his book to the table. So Mark kind of picked up where Ronnie left off, and Mark's going to do 2 books tonight. And really all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of summarize what we read. If you go back into the archives, you'll actually find some source materials that were very similar to this, where we kind of read some issues and talked about them. And that's kind of what we're going to do tonight. We got 4 books on the table. Alexis, you have Catwoman and Sylvester, correct?
Catwoman meets Tweety and Sylvester.
Got it. Catwoman meets Tweety and Sylvester. Do you have the? Well, actually, we'll cover that when you get to it. I have Lex Luthor and Porky Pig. That's
otherwise known as the cover that'll give us all nightmares.
Well, just while we're talking about that, I have. Here you go. I've been messing around with Messenger and my program here.
Yeah.
There you go. Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just horrifying.
Porky Pig, as looks like he was drawn by the cover artist that gave us this horrifying gem, Ben Oliver.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene in Willow where all the men are turned into pigs. That horrible, disturbing, put the kids in therapy scene for 20 years.
Oh, yes.
That.
Oh, my gosh. So, yes, Lex Luthor, Porky Pig. Now, Mark, you've got 2 books here. You've got Joker and Daffy, right?
Correct.
And Harley and Gossamer. Who's Gossamer?
Well, Gossamer's just an interesting monster. He's
is this the red monster that has like just 2 eyes, no arms, and big feet?
And the sneakers.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. Got it.
He's a very interesting monster.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting. No, Gossamer was never actually named until a 1980s cartoon that Chuck Jones did called The Return of Duck Dodgers, where Marvin the Martian unleashed Gossamer on Duck Dodgers and, eager young space cadet Porky Pig. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a walking Looney Tunes encyclopedia, so guys, you might need to shut me up.
And now we've all watched Looney Tunes, so obviously, Alexis, you got a big history. I mean, is that something that you watched continuously growing up?
Yeah, I've actually got the entire Golden Collection on DVD. I watch it with the commentary all the time.
Wow. All right. How about you, Mark? Looney Tunes.
I have the Golden Collection, too. I don't watch it with the commentary.
Well, so I assume that the commentary obviously lets us in on just like some of the facts that you just dropped on us right there, Alexis.
Well, sometimes. Some of them are actually, you know how we were talking when we reviewed Zatanna by Paul Dini. Paul Dini did commentary on a couple of the shorts.
Oh, wow. That's neat.
Yeah, we got a couple of modern animators. Animation historian Jerry Beck shows up frequently on the commentary. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He is so much fun. I love him.
Yeah, Looney Tunes for me. When I was growing up, we didn't have too many channels, but I can remember when we had at least access to, I think it was TBS, and I think TBS showed mostly Looney Tunes, and Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig. Now we get into Tiny Toons territory and things like that. I can remember watching Tiny Toons all the time, but Pinky and the Brain.
There's no better Tiny Toons episode than Bat Duck.
Bat Duck?
Bat Duck and his pig hostage.
Oh my God, that is a good one. Okay, actually, I'll go and ask you this, guys. Do you know what your favorite Looney Tunes short is, or at least your favorite Looney Tunes character?
Gosh. I mean, Daffy's up there. I enjoy the ones where, and there's been quite a few of them. It's the ones where they break the fourth wall, and there's a character that's basically fighting with the artist.
Duck Amuck. Yeah, that is my favorite Looney Tunes short. I love that one. Oh my God.
You know, there's one where that happens to Bug. It's not as funny,
yeah,
but there's one where
that's the one that happens to Bugs. Yeah.
Right, where Elmer Fudd ends up being the artist.
Yes.
It's like, I know one way to end this picture, and you can't stop me. At least I got even with that rabbit.
Like buddy, and we'll both be out of white.
Just him walking around with the flower head and the screwball tail, it just cracks me up every single time. I swear I've stolen a bunch of bits from that, you know, as part of just my usual way of speaking to people. You know, I like you may or may not realize this, but we are in a cartoon.
I actually stole a gift from Duck Amuck of Daffy. Every time Mother Nature, here in the Midwest, every time we think we're getting into spring and then winter rears its ugly head, I have Daffy going, would it be too much to ask if we could make up our minds?
Yes, that's great. That's all. I'll tell you what, you know, you asked me to relate to Looney Tunes, and of course I fought you because I'm a dick. But I'll tell you, here's how I can relate. You know, one of the things that I'll do with my son, especially when he was a little younger, he's going to be 5 in April. So I would say probably around 2 or 3, I would just grab him and I would name him, and I would start like giving him a bear hug and rubbing his head, and I'd start, you know, and then I would do the bit, you know, of the Abominable Snowman, and I will name George, and he would get, he didn't mind so much me rubbing his head and everything. What he objected to very vociferously was being called George. And he let me know it. He's like, I am not George. I am Jonas.
Squeeze him.
Yes, and I will hug him and squeeze him, and I will name him George. And he was like, I am not George. But for the longest time, all he wanted to do was watch that cartoon because he thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That's awesome.
What about you, Jesse? Did you say what your favorite was?
I'm looking through here, and I really think that Wile E. Coyote is probably watching him and the Roadrunner over and over and over on Saturday mornings. That was probably the shorts that I enjoyed the most.
I feel like that's how you interact with the world. You just like hold up signs.
Just completely silent. Watch all these tragedies befall myself as I go off a cliff and hover there for a few seconds, and then drop.
Your son comes down at 10 o'clock at night for bread and water. You just hold up a sign that says, "Why me?"
You know,
yes, sir.
I know which one's my favorite Wile E. Coyote one. It's the one that has the repeating of the catapult at the end. He keeps trying the same catapult over and over again. He keeps moving to different locations. Thinking, okay, this time it'll work, and he keeps failing every single time.
Was it you or Robert Winfrey who, when I said Wile E. Coyote soup, a genius, didn't know what the fuck I was talking about?
You talking to me? Because most likely it was me. I don't get 90% of your references. So
okay. I know it was me again. Actually, Wile E. Coyote meeting Bugs Bunny was another one of that's in my top 10 favorites. For the record, guys, I actually wrote a blog, top 100 greatest Looney Tunes shorts.
Are you kidding me? Is it still up?
Yeah, it's on Blogspot. It's ancient as hell.
Oh, that shit's got to get linked somehow on the page. Then we got to put that on the page.
I'll send you the link here. Here, let me go ahead and pull it open on Safari and all.
That is great. Oh,
okay, so
jumping on the commentary.
So Jesse, are you aware that that there are some Wile E. Coyote cartoons where he speaks and he refers to himself as Wile E. Coyote, super genius?
It's been so long since I've watched any, so I'll go ahead and go with no.
God damn it, Jesse, yes or no?
Yeah, I'll go with no.
Okay.
I have to qualify it with something. Yes, Mark, I haven't watched Looney Tunes in forever, and I mean a very, very long time.
We'll watch. We will occasionally just gather around the old cell phone and just like there's a bunch of just hours of Looney Tunes stuff uploaded to YouTube, and we'll just sit in the house and watch that. And my kid, it's a whole other thing to do that with your children. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I experience it differently now as I watch them laugh at this stuff.
Okay, Mark, we'll start with you. I think what we'll do is we'll start with you, and then we'll end with you. All right? Since you got two, you can start us out and end it up. So let's talk about, I guess, which one you want to do first?
We'll do the one that I initially picked, which is Harley and Gossamer. So this is right out of the New 52 Harley Quinn book, where she's still living in Brooklyn. She's hanging out with Poison Ivy. She's just a girl in the world trying to make her way. There's a hurricane that comes through in a box that ends up on the beach, and in the box is Gossamer. And what we learn about Harley Quinn in the New 52 books is that she's simply mad about dogs and other furry animals. So she has tons of pets. She's like the crazy cat lady. So when she finds this giant red monster in the box that doesn't speak, she adopts him.
Oh, of course.
And Gossamer becomes her new pet. And basically, she's trying to figure out who he belongs to. They just kind of go off on misadventures, and she does Gossamer's hair, and there's
just like Bugs Bunny. Now, see, I'm looking at the cover here. I remember this alternate cover from a Bugs Bunny cartoon where it's exactly like.
And eventually she does the Bugs Bunny bit where she's doing his nails. It's monsters are such interesting people. Yeah. It just goes on and on like that. And eventually she comes across the castle with the mad scientist, and turns out that they were traveling together, but the hurricane messed things up, and so he thanks her for returning his monster. And that's literally the book.
Oh, jeez. All right.
There's a lot of sexual tension between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay. So, does the monster speak?
No, he indicates that he likes hot dogs.
Okay.
That's about it.
This is written by...
He tries to eat the dog at one point, and she has to correct him. Okay. That's about as violent as the book gets.
We get all our familiar people here. What's his name? What was his name? The guy that she was... Tony? Big Tony? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Big Tony shows up, and we got the dead beaver I see on the front cover.
Of course.
And we're having flashbacks to the holiday special.
Yeah. So
it's a cute book, but it's really short and there's not much to it.
Okay. Now
and as far as the second adventure, I only read the main one. I didn't read the second one.
Okay. All right. Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti writers. Pierre Brito artist. Okay. Well, so now, Mark, I'm going to go ahead and have you. Now, you haven't talked about the second one, but where would you rank this one out of the two? 1 or 2?
Oh, I enjoyed this one. It was number 1. It was really funny.
All right. So we get to look forward to Joker and Daffy and see what you have to say about that. I'll go ahead and go here next and talk about Lex Luthor and Porky Pig. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit interactive. All right. I've already sent you guys a picture of the horror fest that happens on the cover of this thing. This is the picture on the cover that's supposed to entice you to want to buy the book. And it is the most frightening thing I've seen in quite a while. This is written by Mark Russell, and we know Mark Russell, don't we, Mark Radulich?
Yeah, we do.
Boy, do we ever. A very, what is the word?
Controversial.
controversial. When one of your books is one of your works titled "Before You Got to Comics" is "God is Disappointed in You." Okay, that's Mark Russell, ladies and gentlemen. So he had his hands in Snagglepuss, Exit Stage Left. He also did the Flintstones that we covered on here, and we've talked about how much Ronnie Adams enjoys his take on his favorite cartoon characters. Well, here we have Porky Pig, and I'll give you guys a breakdown here. By the way, penciler of the book, Brad Walker. So Porky Pig had it all. When his cryptocurrency Porky Buck skyrocketed for a quick time, but that then plummeted shortly thereafter, leaving our favorite stuttering swine destitute. A chance meeting at a restaurant he is working at, Lex Luthor convinces Porky to come work for him as the pig in charge of synergizing all LexCorp's operations through social media, including an app called Lexima. Okay, I don't know why you would want to get an app called Lexima. It sounds like a medical condition, but there you go. Lexima, the company's latest social media platform. A position Porky knows little about, by the way. He actually tells Lex, he's like, look, I have no idea what goes into this. He's like, well, look, you're a risk taker. You made all this money on this cryptocurrency and turned around and lost it. Now, in that position, Porky seems to be doing very well until his first big crisis as a boss. The issue: someone is stealing sandwiches in the break room. Methods to address the issue fail to a point where workers start carrying guns. Draw a line from point A to point B there. All right. Sandwiches are missing in the break room. Get your guns, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Porky has to get this under control. Finally, it is deduced that Lex Luthor, the man that runs the company, was actually the one stealing the sandwiches. But Porky, feeling a debt of gratitude, points his finger at the Mexican janitor in order to give the people a culprit. And I'll send you guys just a real quick. I sent this earlier today, but you guys can take a look at this sad image. And I'll read it here. Everybody knew that Lex was the one who'd been stealing from them, but unable to do anything about him, we blame the immigrant. Strangely, that seemed to satisfy them. They all went back to work as if nothing had happened. Mark Russell, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, Dr. Savannah and Dr. Ivo, close friends of Luthor, are having problems with the federal government and because of their price regulation of their cancer-curing drugs, which they had promptly jacked the price up of. Lex suggests he may have a solution, offering them to use Lexima as a method to refill prescriptions. Actually, Lex's thing is that he's going to turn Lexima into basically Alexa, to where you can say, hey, refill this, or call so-and-so. And so he's trying to promote it as that. But of course, we find out Lex is the villain of this story. Lex has been using Lexima as a ruse to gain access to users' passwords. He pretty much runs on the assumption that everybody's password is pretty much the same, or at least you're going to get a few passwords that are the same as the one that's being used in Lexima. So there you go. He now has access to everybody's passwords. When this is found out, Congress questions Lex regarding the back door. Lex apologizes and then points the finger at Porky, as he was the head of the program in the first place. Porky then goes to jail for a long, long time. So your lesson learned, those with a position of power above you can usually get away with just about anything. That, my friends, is Mark Russell. I want to show you guys my favorite part of this book. I'm going to send this to you here on the messenger. So to paint the picture, Lex is on stage, all right? Imagine like an Apple, what are they called? Keynotes, all right?
Computer.
They're not a computer, but he's in front of an audience to kind of promote what's coming up. He's trying to promote Lexima. He's telling everybody, all right, check this out. I'm going to have it refill my prescription. So he says, Lexima, please refill my prescription. And Lexima puts up a little message up there. Now, the thing is that Lexima is open to anybody. And it turns out their biggest and first audience or users or actually people who had gotten kicked off of previous social media platforms. So people who got banned from Twitter immediately go to Lexima. People who got banned from Facebook immediately go to Lexima. So he's on this stage. He's trying to show everybody how easy it is to order things. And this comes up. All right, now you guys take a look at this and just give me your reaction. I hope you guys can see it. So he wants his prescription refilled, and then this person chimes in. So apparently, you know, it's just like a chat window. And it turns out it's Daffy Duck, of course, if you can tell by the silhouette there. And he says, "Saggy sausage?" And there are probably 3 or 4 pages where Daffy Duck does nothing but troll Lex Luthor on his own social media program, and it is damn hilarious. So anyway, there it is. One of the reviews I remember reading at the end was about how depressing it was. Mark Russell brought a bunch of like unnecessary realism into a cartoon world. So if you were going to this first story thinking that you're going to come out of it with a rosy disposition, you're wrong. That's incorrect. So. So anyway, that was the first story, and I don't know what that first story was called, but either way, the second story was called Lex's Next Appointment, and I did read that one. Written by Jim Fanning, penciled by John Loder, and it was your classic Looney Tunes comic book style. So if you guys would have found a Looney Tunes comic probably back in the 60s, this style kind of reminds me of that. Looks like a cartoon, not the horrific real life Porky Pig that we got on the front cover, thank goodness. Let me tell you this story, because this is real quick. So Porky is a salesman attempting to sell office supplies, and Lex mistakes his wares for weapons he may use against Superman. Classic Looney Tunes stuff here. Lex takes him on a tour of all his cartoonish weaponry, including the LexCorp alien detector, which just so happens to go off as Superman is approaching the building. While a large battle ensues between Superman and LexCorp robots, Porky realizes how evil Lex is. Tries to distract him from the battle with a paperclip that somehow flings from his fingers by accident into the robot remote control that just happens to have a huge do not insert paperclip slot on the top of it. And
because
it turns,
of course it does.
I'll send you guys a picture of this one too. It's this huge slot, and the paperclip just flings from it and goes right into it, blows the remote up. Porky Pig saves the day. So there is my contribution to this one. Alexis, are you ready with Catwoman meets Sylvester and Tweety?
Yes, I am ready with, what was the official title of this short here? Hang on a second. Fine Fit of Feather and Fur.
Okay.
By Gail Simone.
All right.
Yes, this starts with, oddly enough, a group of witches led by Witch Hazel. You guys remember who Witch Hazel is, right? I used at first who she was talking to. She's talking to these other 3 witches, so I did a little research. These are actually the 3 main characters from the Witching Hour anthology series. Mordred, Mildred, and Cynthia.
Okay.
Yeah, really weird callback there. So anyways, they're getting into a debate over which is the most dominant species, cats or birds. So they decide to make a little wager off of it. And of course, they're witches, so this is going to be one hell of a wager. In which case, we have Sylvester running into Catwoman and Tweety running into Black Canary. And we have what essentially turns into an all-out war between cats and birds in Gotham City. Because if Sylvester manages to eat Tweety before dawn, all birds and all bird-themed superheroes will disappear from the earth. And we were discussing this earlier about how many bird-themed superheroes there are, and there's a lot.
Yeah, there is a ton.
We get this, so it basically turns into this giant action piece of every single bird and cat themed superhero and supervillain known to DC just showing up out of the blue. We've got Cheetah fighting Hawkman. We have Catman. We have, oh my God, it just gets crazy.
I'm looking through. I was looking through the comic. Did you say who was on art here? Because this looks awful familiar. And nope, never mind. Inaki Miranda.
Sam Keith, because then it would just be awful.
Shut up, Mark. Inaki Miranda. Okay, I get. I can tell you that I don't recognize that name. So, but the art, I mean, it's decent. The art's pretty good. But go ahead, there, Alexis. Sorry.
Although I gotta admit, I don't remember in the cartoons Tweety ever being such a little bitch, because he's really rude to Black Canary, and I'm sitting going, okay, are we getting like a callback to the Bob Clampett style Tweety? I mean, if there's this one point where Black Canary's getting dressed, and what does Tweety say? Ooh, you wearing a new outfit? It seems a little tight. Have you gained weight recently?
Oh, damn.
We could sit and get a nice moo-moo.
Wow.
Wow. Tweety's my name, but I don't know my age.
I don't have to. What? Yeah. Oh, did you fall and hurt your little head? Poor pretty sort of blonde lady.
Well, in defense of that writing style for Tweety, he does give that kind of sass to Sylvester.
Yeah, but just a blonde woman, apparently a sort of blonde woman, according to Tweety. But no, it's great. Like I said, there was just some really good meta humor. And there's a point where Sylvester nearly eats Tweety and he goes, "Help, police, Superman, Captain Marvel."
Hawkman and Hawkwoman are in this?
Hawkman,
oh, my gosh.
Oh, for the record, did you guys know that Starfire species is descended from cats? Because I didn't know that.
No, did not know that. That was not in the old 1 through 8 that we just read of New Teen Titans.
But yeah, there's a scene where Starfire comes and goes, her name is Starfire and it's descended from cats. I'm like, okay, apparently Tamaranians are descended from cats. Who knew?
Did not know that.
So
fucking Raven. Raven's in this piece.
In the Great War of Birds and Cats, who wins?
Basically, in the end, they realize that there's only one way that they're actually going to win. Clarion, the witch boy, shows up and tells them what's going on, and the superheroes and supervillains go to the witches and bop them on the heads with their own broomsticks.
And that's the end? They're just done?
They celebrated, including Sylvester finally telling Witch Hazel, "Lady, you're despicable."
Good one, Sylvester. Oh, wow. Yeah, man. I'm looking through. I mean, Hawk, Dove, Robin. Is that, what's his name? Tawny did Tawny show up in this from Captain Marvel? Tawny the Tiger, I think is the name.
Yeah, I think that's him that I'm looking at.
I believe he did show up and he was great.
Oh, Mark Radulich.
That one was painful.
Ouch.
I am sorry.
So what did you think here, Alexis? Did you enjoy this one?
I absolutely did enjoy this one. There's a lot of little in-jokes and hidden characters in the background, and it is so much fun. I love that apparently Sylvester teams up with Black Canary in the end. Black Canary writes a double-sided hit single for several key Asian markets. I taught Putty Tat, and the follow-up Suffering Succotash. And then Tweety ends up teaming up with Catwoman to be her new sidekick.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, did you get to the second one? I don't know if you read it. I read mine.
Yes, I did read the second one. Again, like the others, it's more of a classic Looney Tunes style. Catwoman designed in the Timiverse style of animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bruce Timm classic 90s Batman style. It's the way she's painted. Now, this one's pretty good. Catwoman and Sylvester end up teaming up when they both try to rob the same apartment. To which Catwoman basically says, get me what I want, and then I will give you all the birds from the pet store that you want. And, of course, it all goes straight to hell, complete with Tweety crashing in on a talk show hosted by Conan O'Burdon. Which is basically what looks like Henry Hawk with Conan's hair. It's the best way I can describe it. To which Black Canary is a guest, and Tweety alerts her to what's going on. And then Black Canary teaches Tweety the canary call.
Okay.
So we get a very loud, "Bad Putty Tat!"
Okay. All right. That's her power, right? The canary calls, like her loud screaming.
Her sonic cry, yeah.
Yeah.
They call the canary. The canary. Oh, the canary cry. That's a canary cry.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, apparently now Tweety knows how to do that. God help Granny.
All right. So I was looking through, that one was done by, I didn't recognize the names on this, but I'm going to go ahead and this was called Cats by Shea Fontana, or written by Shea Fontana, penciled by Walter Carzon. All right, Mark. Next up, Joker and Daffy.
So Joker's in his hideout, and meanwhile, Daffy is trying to deal with the Acme company because they've once again sold him a defective product. So he goes to the Acme factory to deal with this in person, and that's where he finds the Joker. And so the Joker nearly kills him because why is this duck, here? And of course he's like a psycho. And so thinking quickly on his feet, Daffy Duck says, "Oh, I'm from Acme Hench. I'm here to help you." So the Joker makes him a henchman, and so one of his first things is he builds the Joker's new hideout. The Joker absolutely falls in love. And he was like, oh my God, nobody's ever gotten me like Daffy Duck has gotten me.
Oh, of course.
So then he gives him his plan, and his plan is to release Joker gas because that's what the Joker does. And when Daffy Duck realizes that, he's basically being lulled into being a murderer, he's like, oh, I gotta stop this. So
this is originally starting more like the Daffy Duck salesman cartoon. So we got more in the 50s and 60s, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Daffy wasn't exactly like just Daffy crazy. It was Daffy's got a plan to make money.
Right.
Okay.
So he's a henchman for a little while there, and then when he realizes that Joker's going to murder people, he's like, all right, we can't have this. He ends up doing something to the gas to where it won't work. And then Batman shows up and takes down the Joker. And I'll read this to you because it's actually really funny. All right, so Batman comes in, kicks Joker in the face, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so according to those men, this is Commissioner Gordon. According to those men, the lead henchman was a talking duck. Well, this is Gotham City, home of Killer Crocs and genius man-bats. Yeah, but a duck? Mallards are notoriously easy to boss around. And Daffy Duck's like in the background.
Yeah.
It's why they walk in a single line. Generally weak-willed, simple-minded, and of course Daffy loses his temper. He's trying to hide from Batman, but he freaks out. He's like, simple-minded? I've never walked a straight line in my life. You're dressed. And then the best is he starts going off on Batman. He's like, you're dressed as a bat. At least I was born a duck, and I'm the stupid one? You pointy-eared, hyperthyroid pajama-wearing bonehead? You are a featherette. So there. And then Batman picks him up, puts him in a straitjacket, and sends him to Arkham Asylum.
Oh, God.
And at some point, they actually do the shoot me now thing. Shoot him now or wait till I get home.
Shoot him now! Shoot him now!
I read a little bit of the second one. Basically, Daffy Duck is trying to treat the Joker.
He's trying as a doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
that had to go well.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I didn't think so.
No, I mean, like I said, it was silly, it was fun, but there was nothing about it that was super oh my God. It wasn't like your Lex Luthor one where there was deeper meaning to it or anything. It was just kind of clearly the writer and the artist were just having fun with the idea, and it's kind of like the Joker, and it's kind of like the Harley and Gossamer. It was wouldn't it be funny if these two teamed up and just had some fun with it?
I will tell you that the art on that issue.
Daffy looks horrifying. I'm not wild with the way he drew Daffy. Everything else is fine.
Well, I
think we can agree that none of us are really that crazy about how these characters look when they're in the more realistic looking. I mean, even Sylvester looks like black and white Grumpy Cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at, Scott Lobdell was the writer. My gosh. Scott Lobdell was the writer. Brett Booth was the penciler. And Brett Booth is a tremendous artist. I've followed him since the Image days, and that looks really good. Daffy, just, again, a realistic take on a duck. It's just scary. But now we've heard everybody's story so far. Which one would you say, Alexis, is most faithful to what the Looney Tunes was about?
Ooh.
Harley and Gossamer.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with Mark on that one.
Yeah.
Harley and Gossamer.
Mine, Mark Russell, stay away from this. Just do not. I mean, hey, I love Snagglepuss, Exit Stage Left. I love talking about the Flintstones, but the guy who said that this was a depressing story, it really is. Because just like I said, the only message he got out of mine was not one of hope, not one of, not one that would leave you feeling good. It was like, oh, geez, Porky Pig's going to jail. And the only thing he has to look forward to is the fact that he's going to write a book about his, tell his story. It's like Lex Luthor gets away with it. But I mean, this was a fun thing. I'm glad we got to at least take part and listen to, I was able to listen to your guys' take on the stories. Alexis, we'll start with you. How about some plugs?
Well, Honeysuckle Rose Creations, the intersection of geek and chic. We're getting ready to start our convention circuit at the end of March. February is going by pretty fast, so we'll be ready to go before too long. We're going to be appearing at Planet Comic-Con here in Kansas City at the end of March. Then we're going to be moving on to OzCon, Cape Comic-Con, and a few others. We'll be keeping our websites updated with our shows. We're introducing a bunch of brand new stuff, new merchandise. With the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, I've actually been working hard on a new Keyblade wielder charm bracelet. Really excited about that.
Nice.
That's it. Like I said, look for us at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City at the end of March. We're really excited to start our 2019 season.
Very good. Mark Radulich, the schedule, sir.
All right. Tomorrow on the Radulich Broadcasting Network is Damn You Hollywood Alita Battle Angel. Alexis, are you still joining us for that?
I know originally my buddy Carrie Ann was going to join us. I know she is backed out. If you still want me on the show, though, I'll do it.
Sure.
Right.
It'd be fine for you to stand between me and Rob as we punch each other.
Oh, great.
So, meanwhile, last week we got a pair of Punisher shows. Punisher Max, The Slavers, and then myself, Rob Winfrey, and Jesse Starcher got into a sissy slap fight, a screaming match, if you will, over Punisher Season 2. Did it suck? Did it suck royally? Did it suck your balls? We'll find out when you listen to TV Party Tonight Punisher Season 2. Maybe it was even just a little bit good. You'll find out. On the 13th, we reviewed Beast in Black. The day after tomorrow, the Metal Hammer of Doom will welcome you back to Avantasia as we review Moonglow. And then we had to delay it a few weeks, but finally we're ready. The Crown Season 2 on February 21st. Next week, we'll be looking at Emerald Twilight, the Green Lantern series. We'll be looking at Fighting with My Family on Damn You Hollywood. Metal Hammer of Doom review the new Dream Theater. And then Alexis Henja is back on the 28th because we're going to be looking at Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Fuck it up, pig face, fuck it up, pig face, fuck it up. Sorry.
Remember that being part of it. It's a remix.
I was actually wondering which song you were going to start singing, the a cappella one or the one from the animated series.
And I forgot to mention, boxing is back on Big Fox, baby. Big Fox. Or at least it was. February 16th, Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores. Myself and Pat Mullen provided live commentary over that fight. Yeah, that was last week. Yeah. So, yeah. So go ahead and give that a look-see. We've got reviews for Voltron Season 8. We did an on-trial for Pan's Labyrinth, or at least we tried. We've got reviews for The Runaways and A Pale Horse Named Death. And by the way, if you're wondering what happened to the Bring Me the Horizon show, yeah, I couldn't bear myself to deal with that. I needed the night off, and I couldn't stand to listen to that album one more minute. Not one more minute more.
Well, it's not good. At least we got to review the video, though, for the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. That video
was fun.
Fucking great. So
yes,
I'm all right with that.
So that's all my plugs.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put the old canned plugs here at the end. I will also tell you to go check out the Facebook page, the Source Material Facebook page, where I will be posting a link of Alexis's top, what's it called, Alexis? Help me out.
The top 100 Looney Tunes shorts. This is something I wrote, oh my God, over 8 years ago, I think.
It's going to find a resurgence. So yeah, we'll put it on the old Facebook page there and share it. All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's Alexis. I'm Jesse. Mark Radulich. How do we sign off again?
We're looking forward to offending you in the future.
Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure to give that Radulich in Broadcasting Facebook page a like to stay up on top of all the great podcasts we have to offer. We are at home on Spreaker, but you can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and recently we have hit the air on Spotify. Find your favorite podcast platform and type in RADULICH to subscribe for some great content. If you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word. And as always, we appreciate any feedback and look forward to entertaining you again soon.
That's all, folks.
You're very hyped up tonight.
Oh, I'm ready. Ready to rock and roll. What? No. I don't do that. No. Stop. Nasal spray.
Heard that, did you?
I heard it too.
I don't think you were trying to keep it quiet, but all right.
I wasn't trying to draw attention to it either.
Prince Ali, fabulous he.
Alibaba.
Now
come together right now over me.
Okay, if start something with Mark. I don't know when this is going to stop. Missouri is kind of like the bottom of the bin. Like everything just goes into this state now.
It all collects right down there.
Are these good witches, bad witches, or sandwiches?
Sandwiches. God bless America.
Why is it every time I start talking about a comic, I get derailed by a bad pun?
Hi, are you new?
That's Mark Radulich, everybody. New to the podcast. Remember the mantra, don't ask.
Let me ask you a question, Jesse. Do you want to build a snowman?
Just let it go, Mark. Just let it go.
I'm going to go put my head through the wall now.
And we're going to follow it up with the most culturally sensitive Looney Tunes cartoons that we can find.
Culturally sensitive? Oh, boy. Yes, sir.
Starting with Nip the Nips.
I'm really starting to regret that I told you what the title of that cartoon.
Sensitivity.
Source material bonus content.
I don't think I would show him anything like that.
I've shown my kids all the racist ones.
Of course you have.
Have you shown them the censored 11? There are 11 Looney Tunes shorts that have been banned from the air that will never be aired on television. It's more than just the ones where we see where a couple of scenes have been edited or whatever.
I've shown the one where at the end it's like, Wova, you're plastered. I've shown them that one. I've shown them the one with the where it's Bugs Bunny versus the Japanese guy in Hawaii.
Bugs Bunny Nip the Nips.
Yes.
That's actually what it's called.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
I showed them all that shit. Here, this was America once upon a time.
Go tell your teacher about it tomorrow.
That's right.
I actually love those, not because I'm racist, because I am a sucker for World War II propaganda. I actually have, I'm not kidding, guys, I've got a book of Dr. Seuss's World War II political cartoons.
Oh, wow.
It is one of my most prized possessions. I love the propaganda from that time period. So I love these cartoons because it's just so hilarious for me to see how these things were portrayed back then.
One of my favorite ones is the switching from Looney Tunes to Walt Disney is the fever dream Donald Duck has. The Fuhrer's face.
The Fuhrer's face. So we Heil.
Hi. The Fuhrer's face. Yes. I've shown my kids that one too.
I love that one.
I don't really hold a lot back from my kids. Have you noticed that?
Hey, it's part of history. That's probably about the only way I can make it sound like you're doing something
wildly appropriate.
That isn't too offensive.
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
I think it is important to know, actually, starting with, we were talking about the Golden Collection, starting with the Volume 3 Golden Collection, they actually had Whoopi Goldberg come out. And she would talk about how there was a lot of racial slams and making fun of women and stuff like that in these cartoons. And what was it? It's like these portrayals were wrong then and they're wrong now. But erase them is to pretend like they never happened.
I mean, if you think about all the times that Bugs Bunny dresses up as a woman, and then they do the bit where he screams like a girl. In the wrong context, if you really wanted to, you could certainly make a big deal out of that. That's promoting violence against women and all of this other stuff, and violence against transgender or drag or whatever. And it's like, no, it was just funny because Bugs Bunny was dressing up as a chick to get out of being eaten. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I've been hearing conversations on a couple podcasts about some collections that DC is not going to put together. So stuff that was printed pre-wartime or right around wartime, I guess I would say, they're having a hard time making a decision as to whether to reprint that stuff because of how potentially offensive it could be. A lot of people are just like what you said, Alexis. Put a disclaimer at the front of the book. Hey, this is what it was like at the time. This is, this is wrong, but this is being reprinted for the purposes of allowing someone to be able to read what was going on back then.
Here's my problem with that. It's 2 words: piss Christ.
Okay.
You know, on the on the one hand, we're bending over backwards to explain why something existed once upon a time, and should still be looked at today as a part of history. Meanwhile, there's a guy out there who got public funds to put a crucifix in a jar of urine, and that was looked upon as art and displayed as art.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Dadaism.
it's just funny to me how we can't make up our minds whether we're going to be super sensitive or we're going to go out of our way to insult people, depending on what the subject matter is.
Yeah.
And that I say, baby's just going to have a ham sandwich. Alexis, come on, you know that one.
Guys, Gail Simone just retweeted my quote about her, or my tweet about her podcast.
Hey, look at that! Way to go, Gail Simone. She is she is something else.
That's great, but you
know exactly what you're talking about because that quote is actually from my husband's all-time favorite Looney Tunes short.
There we go. I was just like, you're not acknowledging me. What the hell?
I'm not acknowledging you because Gail Simone acknowledged I exist.
Well, now that we've moved past that, yes, Humphrey Bogart in a Bugs Bunny cartoon is one of my favorite lines ever. Well, I guess baby will just have to have a ham sandwich.
No, Andre just loves to see with the pies.
I'll pick a pie, sir. I still do that. I'll hand people something. I'm like, your pie, sir.
Why did you hit me in the face with a coconut custard pie with whipped cream? Just says it's so deadpan. I love it.
Now listen here, chubby.
I'll tell you what, Jesse. If I can find the censored 11, would you be up for doing a reaction recording?
I would. But I know how Mark gets at about 10:30.
I'll be fine. I've already thrown snot in my dinner into the sink before this podcast started. I'm good to go.
There's a mental image. Thanks.
What the hell?
You are welcome.
If you can find them, if there's like a playlist of them, I'd love to do a reaction to them.
Sorry, so while she looks for it,
guys, I have watched some of the censored 11. The one thing you got to know is that these are scans of very old copies. Again, since this is we will never air this again. These have not been remastered. They're piss poor quality. The audio sucks. So, it's going to just letting you know because I have watched a few of them before and it's kind of hard to tell what they're saying sometimes.
Quick note, Alexis was only able to find a YouTube video titled Looney Tunes, the best of censored 11 banned cartoons by 8thmandvd.com cartoon channel, which features 3 shorts titled The Trail for Hallelujah Land, Jungle Jitters, All This, and Rabbit Stew. So if you want to pause the show and find the link in the notes and then come back and follow along, you can feel as uncomfortable as I was.
Goodness. I've gotten you guys into.
Here we go, baby.
I will be yelling controversial left and right. Are you guys ready?
All right. Fuck it up, big face.
Oh, I know that reference. All right, here we go. Looney Tunes, the best of censored 11 banned cartoons, remastered to HD. And I am hitting it in 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to need to turn this down just a little bit. 8. Okay, so there's our... All right. So we got our classic black and white.
The Hugh Harman Rudolph Ising production. There's some old names.
And there's a cross between Porky Pig and Mickey Mouse.
Exactly.
I was almost a little confused there for a second.
Okay, look, drawn by Isidore Freeling. Frizz Freeling drew this, guys.
Hitting the trail. Here we go.
For Hallelujah Land.
Now, this is very much like Steamboat Willie. Is that what the impression we're getting here?
Well, back in the day, Looney Tunes were, unfortunately, very much so just kind of their own take on what Disney was doing. Before they really found their footing, every studio was just trying to replicate Disney's style. There are several very old black and white cartoons that they came out with for Warner Brothers, but yeah, if you watch them, you'd swear it's just Disney. Again, they were just trying to find their own footing, so.
All right, so we have this boat.
There you go.
The steamboat.
Pulling along
And there's Pappy.
Okay.
He's driving Miss Daisy, get it?
That donkey looked way too happy to be whipped.
Now, does that count as blackface?
That's animated. I don't think it can.
He's so happy.
He is too.
All right, steamboat's pulling into the station there, pulling into the dock. And there's Miss Daisy.
I live in a riverboat town, by the way.
In Langford, Ohio.
Yes, sir. Right along the river. Whoa. There you go.
Oh, God, his name is Uncle Tom.
There you go. There you go. That's why.
Woo! We found the racism.
So far, I mean, everything's felt kind of tame to me until we pointed that out. So it just seems like everybody's having a good old time here.
Yeah, I think that was it.
School of Rubber Hose Animation. Look at those limbs.
Yeah, you can. Mickey Pig's about to fall
safe.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Pig. Yeah, pretty much. It's just Mickey Mouse.
There he goes.
Oh.
There he goes.
That was like.
Oh, right in the dick.
Ow, ow. What is that, a lily pad?
Nope.
Oh, never mind. Question it. Ask a stupid question.
Well, that was a lively crocodile.
Wouldn't that technically be an alligator?
Freshwater. You are correct, I think.
Okay. I just read my kids Peter Pan tonight, and of course they are being chased by TikTok crocs, so I have crocodiles on the brain.
Okay.
Never smile at a crocodile.
There he is, back in the boat. And of course this asshole hasn't learned his lesson at all.
Exactly. He's waiting to There's
Remember that time I fell off the back of a boat? Watch me do it again.
There's sad old Uncle Tom. Why are you so sad, Uncle Tom?
I'll shove this egg up his ass. Oh, okay.
That's a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
What was the point of finding it? What did he want?
Oh, he's in a graveyard, isn't he? Holy mackerel.
See, you know what's funny here is black people are afraid of ghosts. Get it?
Oh, jeez. Poor taste. Unbelievable.
Look at him. Look at Uncle Tom.
Like
He's afraid.
If you saw 3 skeletons come out of the grave and start coming at you like this, I think you'd have the exact same reaction.
Yeah, we're going to have problems.
Well, if they're singing and dancing, not really. There's Uncle Tom. He's quite afraid.
You guys ever seen the Disney skeleton dance short?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a part of Disney's Halloween treat, which we watch every year.
I love that short.
No.
Poor Tom. This is a bad day for him. Run, Tom.
Get the hell out of there.
Aww.
That's what Jehovah's Witnesses wish would happen.
All right, Tom made it.
What? Was that a boat? Oh, well.
It was.
Luck there.
Well, see, this isn't racist at all. He's swimming.
Oh, God.
What? It's not racist. And I've killed Alexis.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, poor Uncle Tom.
Mickey Pig can now swim. All right. Good deal.
Who's this dude? Oh,
He's
never
clearly
mind.
the villain. He's
got the evil mustache.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he's got the pencil thin mustache. He's clearly the villain.
Which reminds me of Die Hard 3. All right. I hope that.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God!
You ever get a saw blade up your ass? I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was twisted.
Hope
You
everybody
ever get
learned
raped
their
by
lesson.
You ever get raped by a saw blade?
My ass.
My
Hurt.
ass is on
there's
fire.
only 3 of these that I've watched in recent memory: Cold Black and the Seven Dwarfs, Goldilocks and the 3 Jiving Bears, which is actually one of my favorites, and All This and Rabbit Stew. So some of these I have never even. Okay, again, supervision, eye Freeling, Friz Freeling.
There we go.
There.
No, here's my problem with this. What is the difference between this and Black Panther?
Mark.
What?
We're gonna get kicked off the air, aren't we?
Oh, goodness.
I frankly don't see a difference.
Oh, there you go. All right. See that happening down
If
the
your hoop
road.
is big enough, why not jump rope over it?
Oh.
How do you walk with it if it's big enough to jump rope with it? Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
Jesse's horrified. I think this is hilarious, and I've seen
They go,
Got him. Oh my God.
and he had no neck after all. All right.
Oh no, and down goes Carousel.
Oh, boy.
Persimmon tree.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Sour persimmons. Well, that's one way to get up the tree, I guess.
So, which one of us is going to call out the obvious problem with this cartoon?
I am not. I want to sit here and watch it.
You coward.
I am not.
What the hell?
His salesman's trying to get into Wakanda. And they're trying to keep him out.
Fucking Wakanda.
Killed Jesse.
You know, a dude just died doing shit like this there, like last year, didn't he?
What? Trying to get into Wakanda?
Going into a native village, and they like straight up killed him. You guys don't remember that story?
No.
Yeah, it was a guy on a religious. What is the word? What is word? It was like a missionary, but he went up by himself, and he went down there, and I think from what I heard a little bit of more of the story. Yeah, that's oh boy.
Oh Lord. Anyone else here seen Green Inferno?
But I guess he went down there to spread the word, and he ended up.
The word got spread all right all over his rump.
He done. Yeah, he got.
Oh no!
Just like that.
Mammy's in the kitchen.
Oh,
the audience.
Oh,
Mammy's in the kitchen making chicken stew.
And this fucking guy's oblivious.
Oh, your house made of straw.
Have they stole all his stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. No,
okay.
no, they're not. They are.
And this is where we get the term lampshading from. Serve him up.
Serve this dude up.
So, Jesse, what's racist about this?
A lot of things.
No.
A lot of things.
Why is the queen white?
That's a caricature of a actress from that time period. I've seen that caricature in other old Looney Tunes shorts, but let me see if I can.
Oh man, did she just like stretch her earlobes out? Maybe not. Maybe she was doing her hair. She looks like a damn bird. And that guy's clearly a dog.
He's trying to sell her a toaster.
A self-buttering
toaster. He's obviously aping somebody too.
Whoa.
Yep, there we go.
I guess if you don't see that many men.
Worst salesman in the world.
Will please you, hoba, 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 hoba. And they're still licking their chops.
Yeah, man, this guy was boiling a few minutes ago. I mean,
nice.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. Jesse, what's racist about that?
It was a different time back then, Mark Radulich. Different time.
Nice. I know sentence you.
The Bible, by the way, was a telephone book. He's like
backwater. Oh, God.
Cannibalism, suicide, blackface.
Not the first time you're going to see suicide in the Looney Tunes cartoon, by the way. It won't be the last.
Oh, Bugs.
What racism have you brought today, Bugs?
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
I was worried you were about to say something else.
Bugs Bunny, otherwise known as Bugs Build-A-Wall.
Oh, my.
All this and rabbit stew. Here we go. This is one of the most famous ones.
Yes.
Well,
Jesse, why don't you describe what's on the screen here, Jesse? We're doing a watch-along, Jesse. Why don't you tell people what you see?
There's a young person with a gun.
Very good.
Apparently, as a shotgun, was singing a song. Bugs and his carrots. So this is...
What are his noticeable features, Jesse?
Oh my gosh, Mark Radulich.
Seriously, Mark, are you trying to get us to lose what few listeners we have left?
He has rather large feet.
Good, Jess. You should work for the news. I done shot me a wabbit.
Is this pre-Elmer Fudd? This is pre-Elmer Fudd, is it?
I don't understand. No, this is not pre-Elmer Fudd.
Okay.
First of all, I don't understand.
1941. Yeah, Elmer Fudd came out before this.
I don't understand why this character didn't catch fire and become more popular. He seems like a very funny character. Oh, look at that! He turns into a sucker.
That's classic.
Yeah, this is directed by Tex Avery. These are very much his classic gags.
Get the plunger.
Hey, it worked. And now Bugs has a pointer on his butt. Whoa, that was a good Haha. I mean, I hate to say, if you take out, the fact that this is like horribly racially insensitive, there's a lot of really funny jokes in these cartoons.
Oh, what's racially insensitive? Can you tell me?
Jeez. Oh, Mark. Uh-oh. There's a bar in that there cave. Good one. Aside from the overt racism, I really do miss cartoons like this.
All right, I'm gonna quit using my cognitive dissonance here, and clearly, I know what's inappropriate here in this cartoon.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes left in this podcast here, or this these videos. Mark finally owns up to like, oh shit, yeah, I guess should let you guys know I'm not really a jerk.
Okay, that's actually pretty funny.
To your point, yeah. This is. I mean, if you take out the fact that the antagonist is drawn, as you put it, racially insensitive, it's basically an Elmer and Fudd and Bugs Bunny cartoon. There's really they don't really play on the fact that it's a black character.
No, it's just the dumb hunter. He just happens to be a blackface stereotype.
Yes.
Who just turned into a sucker. This is a gag that Bob Clampett would later reuse in a very classic cartoon called The Big Snooze, where Bugs traps him in a log, and every time he thinks he's going to get out, Bug pushes the end of the log over the cliff. So the poor hunter always ends up running off the cliff.
Here we go.
Yep, see, there he goes again.
Best Bugs Bunny villain, Elmer Fudd, or oh shit, what's his name? Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
I prefer the Yosemite Sam ones.
That's actually the reason Sam was created. Friz Freleng did not like using Elmer Fudd as a foil for Bugs. He thought Fudd was just too stupid.
Yeah.
He wanted someone who could pose a bigger threat. Oh,
what is
no,
happening here?
Not.
I wish I had some idea as to what the hell he was just saying.
Well, they're currently playing on the fact that black folks are
they're playing dice.
Like to play dice.
This is another stereotype from that era.
Yes, indeed.
Now, why do they have to be behind the bush?
It's illegal, isn't it? It's probably
Was
some kind of
illegal in the 40s.
I'll just pretend they're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Apparently, they were playing for clothes there.
Oh, it was strip dice?
All right, that was fun.
Oh my goodness! Well,
no nip the nips.
Believe it or not, Nip the Nips is not in the censored 11.
We only have 3 out of that, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know why. Again, there's 11, and the video I found just said best of the censored 11, so I guess they just picked those 3.
Top 3, all right. Well, that was an interesting trip down memory lane.
That wasn't uncomfortable for you at all, Jesse. You
no,
it wasn't.
Well. Hey, I called a commentary for a reason. Clearly, I had a lot to say. No, that was fun. Those were 3 cartoons that I don't think I've seen. The gags, however, were things that was what was interesting, was the fact that those gags were clearly reused in some of the other shorts. Like I said, it's been fun tonight. Alexis, Mark.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive #1, #2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The big wireless companies sold you an outdated plan tied to long-term contracts and mystery fees. Simple Mobile's different. You get a lightning-fast 4G LTE nationwide network with no contract, ever. And keep the phone and number you love. Just text the word BYOP to 611-611 to see if your phone is compatible. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Standard text message and data rates may apply based on your mobile phone service. Please refer always to the privacy policy at simplemobile.com/privacy policy and the terms and conditions at simplemobile.com/terms and conditions.